Alright, here is a video review for something really unique and interesting, I guess, from a just okay standpoint. It is the G-Shock Master Optimus Prime, and this is not the full version with the watch. Like, there is a version of this that I think there might have been 3 different versions of this figure released. There's this basic version, the Master Optimus right here, which is just the basic figure, no watch, but with this little matrixy piece that fits on the watch holder, and we'll show off some of that in a minute. I think there was actually a one on offer that was Optimus Prime with the watch, but didn't come with this matrix piece. At least that's what one of the listings looked like. And then there was like a lottery listing where you had to sign up to even get a chance to buy it, that came with the robot, the actual G-Shock watch that goes with him, and this Master Matrix piece. All in one set. Now, maybe I'm wrong. Maybe there's just 2. Maybe it's just this plain one and the watch version. But at least initially, it looked like there might have been 3 different releases of this. This is just the plain one, but he does turn into a watch stand. Now, he would have come with. There's some pictures of it here. Just you can kind of see in his chest here on the instructions. It had an exclusive red G-Shock watch. It had a blue band with a red bezel, and then when you push the button, like, there was a little light up Autobot symbol behind the time that fits in his chest. And that's the G-Shock 6900. Apparently it will also work with the 5600 G-Shocks. They've showed pictures of that. I don't know that there's pictures here on the instructions of it with the other watch, but there's the watch itself. You can see it's just a little G-Shock with a blue band. The instructions are kind of garbage. They're there. Like, there's hyper detail to them, like the whole picture, but it's also tiny that, like, even zooming in, it's hard to see exactly what you're supposed to be doing. I did manage to get it back into its time sled watch base mode. This is just kind of a thing. I don't know. So you can put the matrix piece. It's got a little couple plugs that plug in here and into the watch holder. But for the most part, I mean, that's the way it's got a couple guns here, and I guess it could be. It does kind of look like it could be a time sled or maybe a time portal device. There's a cool little transparent blue bit here with the Autobot logo on it on the shield under here, under the watch or under the matrix as it is. And then, like I said, this matrix piece comes off. Now, I don't have a G-Shock. I've considered getting, like I said, I don't know. I'd want to see a red one to see if the red would match the color of this one, but there's a G-Shock, a 6900 G-Shock. You can see it's transparent there. That has a gold inner piece, like the watch face is gold, and then it has the black bezel. But you can get a silver bezel, and those are pretty easy to swap out. So I was considering getting the black watch with the gold face, getting a silver bezel, and then kind of imitating the Matrix look in the robot mode. We'll see. But anyway, I do, like, here's my Apple Watch just by itself. It doesn't look great in robot mode, but you can actually, if you just want to use it as a display stand, any watch you just got to make the band fit. And unfortunately, there's enough support plastic back here to allow for these pegs that you can't quite fit the Apple Watch charger behind here and make this into a functional charging stand. Like, you could probably modify it to do so, but just straight out of the package, it's not going to work like that. But yeah, you can, any of your watches you can display on the stand if that is your wish. Like I said, might get the G-Shock for it, don't know, still debating, but it would be neat. Like I said, if there was there are several red ones, but there's different versions of the red, and I'd want one that would match. I want one that wouldn't stick out, but because I would like to take this thing, put it on my desk at work as like a little clock on my work desk, but we'll see. So anyway, you can transform it with the watch attached. I'm not going to do it with the Apple Watch. I'll put a picture up on Twitter if you really want to see it, but the Apple Watch does not fit his chest. The G-Shock watch would be better, but we'll go ahead and leave this attached for the transformation. He's very fiddly to get back into the base mode. You can see the legs have to be in a certain position, and even here, there we go, the feet weren't tabbed together all the way. The legs are split, and even though I've researched, you can see his head under there, I've transformed him a few times. I'm probably going to get hung up on the legs because the way the legs flip around each other is a little weird. But yeah, so here's the guns. Go ahead and take them out, and we'll we'll set them off to the side for right now. Go ahead and lift these up. There's a tab here on these two halves that's supposed to kind of hold this together. And as long as you don't bump it too much, it'll hold together pretty well, but it's not a real secure tab. But anyway, so open these up. Go ahead and fold these panels out. You can see these are the sides of his chest here. Untab the legs from here. Untab the feet here. And the legs kind of come out to the side on these hinges. These are the peg holes for the guns. This piece right here, you have to untab in the middle, like this. There's two tabs that go up into a slot up here, and then like I want to make sure those get lined up, and you lock them together like that to form the platform. So up on this side, down on this side, untabs it, pull it out, and that lets you start moving the legs. And you want to bring them down, rotate this panel out, so the armor's on the outside of the thigh, or up, and then down, depending on how that hinge works. Because you're swiveling it here, and then there's also this, and this has to rotate, but and actually, see, that's backwards now because the screw's facing forward, so you gotta rotate it some more. There we go. There we go. Now we got the screw in the back. And then this piece, as you can see, hinge around the knee, like that. So hinge this up. This is gonna actually form the outer half of the leg. So rotate it and then fit it so this sits up against the hinge here. And then rotate the inner piece with the foot around on this peg with the gun piece, and then snap it together to form the lower leg. Rotate the foot around here. I think that's how the foot goes. Maybe, actually that looks like it may be more supportive, I don't know. I think a foot looks better like that, but whatever. Again, rotate this whole gray piece down at the knee until you have enough room to bring this over. And then rotate the leg around here and tab it on like that. And his legs are done at this point. I'll fold this tab in that holds them together in face mode. And you bring this whole thing down so the watch / matrix is kind of sitting there in the chest cavity. Yeah, it's got to be this way. And we'll lift this up so we can get to the top of it here. These panels fold up, and they're going to rotate around onto the back here in a minute, like this. Fold this around like that. The arms lift up and then rotate out to the sides here. And then I'm going to open this. Oh, there's a hinge here. You want to open these up so this can come up around the matrix piece, lift up the head. It will automatically pop up a little bit as you rotate this up. Then fold this back in around the matrix piece, or the watch if you have that in here. And then actually you need to make sure this is lifted up because these are going to tab into the waist here to lock all that together. Bring the head down, and it kind of slots under these gray tabs here, like that. Bring the arms down, rotate them, and then extend them there at just above the elbow. They got a bicep swivel. Just bring them down, open up this panel, and flip out the fist. Now, it's going to click into place right here. Don't click it twice because then it gets hard to get back in there. But it will lock into place like that, and then you close the panel. There's some really nice translucent blue plastic, transparent blue plastic along the arms and on the chest. Do the same on this fist. Now, for some reason, one of the big selling points of this guy, or at least one of the call-outs on one of the early descriptions or picture reviews or of this guy was like, hey, look, the guns... these panels, I forgot to do these. Fold those up, and then this tabs in here onto the back piece. There we go. Come on, tab in. You're right there. Don't you want to tab? Don't you want to tab where you're supposed to go? There we go. But it specifically said the guns store behind him, like so you can put his guns just into the back of his arms if you want. I guess maybe they kind of hide that big old backpack. He does have a big old booty backpack here, back here. But he can also, like, I mean, they're guns. He can hold them in his hand. So you take them off. You can give him one gun, you can give him two guns, whatever. You can, I guess, will they fit? Oh, they're on hinges. There is you can plug them out there onto his leg if you want, but I don't know why you would want to do that. But I guess if you have him on his arms, you can angle him back. I guess that does kind of look cool. Like it's a jetpack of some sort, even though it's on the back of his shoulder and not on his actual backpack. Anyway, I rant. And there he is. I do wish this set collapsed a little flatter than it does, because you just kind of got this big old gap here, hunch on his back. Well, it's not super noticeable from the front. But yeah, so he's got a ball joint at the head. You can look around, look up and down, side to side. He's got swivels here, hinge here at the shoulder. He does have the bicep swivel as well as that transformational hinge there. Elbow. No, oh, he actually has wrist swivel. I didn't think he did because of the way it locked, but he does actually have wrist swivel. Good to know. No waist swivel because of how everything locks together, but he's got ratcheting hips, thigh swivel, hinge knees, side to side and front to back on the foot as well. Like I said, it's a really neat design. It's also, even without the watch, $180, and that seems high to me. It's a really neat looking Optimus. It would probably be cooler if I had the proper watch to go in it. Or at least a good approximation. He's a decent size. He's good poseability. It's a really neat idea. I just wish it were a little cheaper. And I know, like, if you want one, I wouldn't wait too long, because I don't think retailers are going to have a whole lot of these in stock. Because from what I understand, at least outside of Japan retailers, like import stores, had to commit to this a year ago, when it was just high-end Optimus toy, and nobody really knew what it was. So a lot of places did not order in large quantities, not committing to something that they weren't 100% sure what they were. At least that's the way I understand it. So I don't know how many of these are going to actually get out there into the wild. The one with the watch I saw was going on eBay before it was released for like $700, and I think it's settled downwards closer to around $450, $480 for the watch. I would love to have the watch, but I just don't see that happening. It's a really cool figure. Expense-wise, not sure if it's for everybody. Just real quick, to give you an idea of how big this guy is, get out of his hand. Here he is with the Siege Voyager Optimus Prime. So he's bigger than the current Voyagers. Now I know it's a lot of people don't have the leaders yet, and I don't have anything here. Here's Battle Trap from a couple lines ago. So just to give you an idea of how big he is, he's a decently sized Optimus. He's a neat design. Some really cool design cues with the transparent blue plastic in the legs and the arms and the chest there. If you're an Optimus collector, he's neat. He's really neat. I wish they had found a way. I wish they had released more of them with the watch itself at a more affordable price rate. Because I even think, I remember, the only way to get one of the ones with the watch, and maybe it was offered elsewhere, the only way I saw to get one with the watch was to enter a lottery. So it wasn't even like you could just plunk down some money unless you overpaid on eBay to get the version with the watch, which I think was $200 or $250 if you bought it straight up, which for a limited edition watch is not horrible, I guess. I don't collect a whole lot of watches. Granted, I also have an Apple Watch, so I can't really talk about the price of watches. But he does have, you can kind of see, I don't know how well it's showing up, but there we go. I'm kind of holding it from the back. The way the translucent blue works here in the body, it still lets some light shine through that matrix, which is kind of cool. It's just kind of, it's not super bright, but it's just kind of a subtle glowy effect. It makes it just pop a little bit there in his chest. So, neat concept. I mean, decent execution for what it is, but it is an Optimus that turns into a stand for a watch and some sort of time pedestal. And I don't know that anybody really needs that, although he is a fun Optimus. But there is the G-Shock times Transformers Master Optimus Prime.